So the emotion, frustration and anger, joy and happiness, those emotions that we bring to the event create our reality. We have to ask ourselves, what creates the emotion that produces the experience that results in the reality that we own as our own reality with regard to the event? The answer is thoughts. Your thought about the event creates the emotion that flows through you with regard to the event, producing the experience that you have of the event, resulting in your reality surrounding any event of your life. So it's what you think about it. See, I mean, in our example, the parade organizer thought, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen. I mean, I can't believe it. We've had a drought for 7 months. And now we have, couldn't it have waited till tomorrow? So that's his thought about the event called thunder showers. The farmer's thought is quite different. Oh, God, this is the answer to my prayer, etc., etc. So those thoughts create the emotions from which flows the experience that produces the reality with regard to the event. So you got to kind of like be real clear about your thoughts, correct? And that's how the process works. Well, it's not exactly how the process works. I mean, it isn't the end of the process. The next question the thinking person must ask is, where do those thoughts about the event come from? That is, what's the basis for those thoughts? And what God said to me was, here's how it works, Neil, listen carefully. The truth that you hold about the event is what creates your thought about it. Your truth dictates or formulates your thought. Your truth, the truth that you hold about any event, creates your thinking around it. And as your thoughts are formulated, emotion flows from those thoughts. That emotion produces the experience of the event, which results in your reality with regard to it. Now, this would be really simple, and it would all end right here, except that truth, God said to me, comes in 3 brand names. When you go to the truth store, and you ask yourself, see, what truth will I buy into? You'll have 3 brands of truth on the shelf there at the truth store. You can buy into what's called the imagined truth, or you can buy into the apparent truth, what is apparently so, or you can buy into the actual truth, what is actually so about the event. Okay? Now, let me give you an example. The imagined truth that the parade organizer might hold with regard to the event, it always happens this way. I should have known. I didn't even know why. I thought we'd get away with one more day without rain. This is how my life always goes. God is getting me for this. I mean, furthermore, that weatherman at the TV station last night said we're going to have a sunny day today, and he was wrong. And I should have known. He's got it in for me too. He knew it was going to rain today, and he just didn't tell me because he wanted me to hang out here with this outcome. I'll get even with him. We create all kinds of stories around the events of our lives that God calls our imagined truth. This happened to me in my life when I had a lady friend of mine years ago who ended a relationship abruptly and suddenly, just unexpectedly. The relationship was just suddenly over one day. And my first thought, she's found another man. She's got another guy. She left me for someone else. And I started making up this whole I know you never do this. I know you don't, you don't engage in this kind of manufacturing of truths, but I did, and many people do, and that's what we call the imagined truth. Later on, you should know, by the way, that I found out that her departure from our relationship had nothing to do with another guy. Furthermore, it didn't even have to do with her thought that I wasn't right for her. You want to know the end of this story just for information's sake? It's kind of interesting. The irony of it was that relationship was ended by her not because she thought that I wasn't the right person for her, but because she thought that I was. What? She had the experience that I was the perfect person for her, and every time she had found someone in her life who was so good for her she couldn't believe it, she lost him. Happened to her 3 times before in her life, and she did not want it to happen to her again. So she got scared. She ran scared. This is too good to be true. She told me this months later when I caught up with her and found out. I said, what was that all about? She said, I owe you the deepest apology. I just ran scared. It was too good to be true. I said, are you telling me that you left the relationship because it was too good to be true? She said, that's exactly what I'm telling you. But now, the apparent truth, what's apparently so, what I could see with my own eyes, was that she was no longer in the relationship. The apparent truth with regard to the rain, what the parade organizer could see with his own eyes was, it's raining outside. That's the apparent truth. That's what's apparently so. No imagination attached to it, just it's raining outside. That's the apparent truth. Because there are 3 kinds of truth, the imagined truth, the apparent truth, and the actual truth, which we'll get to in a minute. Because there are 3 kinds of truth, there are also 3 kinds of reality. Write this down now, or follow the words on the screen. Reality comes in 3 brand names as well, because reality emerges from the truth that's informing your thought, that produces your emotion, that results in your experience of any particular event. The 3 brand names, the 3 kinds of reality that we create. See, you do create your own reality. You create it all in your mind. The 3 kinds of reality you create are either a distorted reality, the distorted realities that emerge from our imagined truths, the observed reality, the reality that is observed as a result of our holding the apparent truth, or the ultimate reality, the reality that emerges from the actual truth. Now let's talk about that actual truth. The actual truth is the truth of your soul.